Greetings, fellow Grimdark readers and listeners. I am your host, Mystery Centric, bringing you the best reaction videos to Grim MLP Grimdark fanfictions and pony thread simulators that I can muster. And today I'm here with this guy.
Hello. Oh, by the way, my gamer's name's Strand4, so
Yeah.
might as well say that.
Yeah, all I can say is this guy's name is Marcus, and yeah, and that's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, I brought him here so we could react to a Grim fanfiction called Butterfly, but the Butterflies by Ad Coon. I think that's how you pronounce it.
So yeah.
So I've been saving. I would have done this earlier, but I've been saving this for a collaboration video either with Marcus or my dad, and it all ended up being with Marcus. So yeah, so I think that we've been talking.
I think the channel will go downhill if he finds out how dark this stuff can be. I recently watched this, but I'm not giving any spoilers.
Okay.
But still, I haven't heard it in a while, so.
Yeah, so without further ado, here we go.
The following reading contains subject matter that some listeners might find disturbing. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah.
Oh, and I almost forgot the warning. Like, yeah, take that warning into account if there's any younger viewers out there. I'll give you like 5 seconds to leave. Just taking safety precaution.
Yeah, you might want to. This is more of a gore flick. That's what I call them.
Are they gone? Are you sure they're gone? Okay.
Yeah. Let's see how the
Pinky dropped a picnic basket onto the ground.
Of course, it's gonna start off all cheery and stuff, and then it's
yes.
The yellow
they always have to make it, but you know what's happening. But they have to like do a way that will kick you in the face.
They always try to capture that whiplash mood that Cupcakes captured.
A white lemon
Shock value, I think it was called.
Here, I made this one just for you. I just know you're going to love it.
Hooray! 2 murderers in a house, except one of them doesn't want to cooperate.
It looks delicious. I'll save it for later if you don't mind. I want to savor every bite. Come.
Fluttershy turned around and walked inside. Pinky picked up the basket of cupcakes and followed, jumping around eagerly.
Oh, you said you wanted to show me something? What is it? What is it? Is it inside?
Fluttershy led the jumping pony into her cozy cottage. It was a wonderful sunny day, and the cottage was full of life as small critters ran in and out of the windows, doors, and holes, playing and frolicking in the warm summer air, while birds were singing in the rafters. Pinky spun around and around, almost falling over on her hooves in excitement.
Turn down the quality because, well,
stopped in front of a stone oven. Pinky tilted her
that's
head.
gonna make my computer explode.
The oven? Do you want to bake?
Fluttershy chuckled softly.
Of course not, Pinky. I knew I could count on you to bring something to eat, even if you didn't have to. Hold on.
The Pegasus ruffled her feathery wings a little and pushed against the side of the heavy oven. With a slow grating noise, the oven slid to the side, revealing a secret trap door beneath. Pinky stared with wide eyes.
Oh,
did she build it herself, or did...
What's down there? Is it a secret superhero lair? Are you a secret superhero?
Fluttershy opened the trap
So,
door,
there really is a hole.
revealing a flight of stairs.
Probably.
I would make a terrible superhero, don't you think, Pinky? Just imagine.
The yellow Pegasus lowered her head,
yeah.
ears as far
Of
back
course.
as they could go, and a perfectly
We saw
good
in
imitation of her
PowerPoint
usual timid self.
she just turned kind of like this.
Excuse me, Mr. Mugger.
Actually, like the only thing that made her explode was just a simple hurting of a glowfly.
Flick of a firefly.
Pinky snorted and fell
Like,
over on her
I can
side
say
of
the maniac had every reason to destroy that. That thing was a distraction.
Oh yeah,
Fluttershy
and also
blushed
don't forget
gestured toward the
she's
stairs.
a psychotic, homicidal killer. Well, if we're not in a TVY rating, she would be homicidal. In the Joker way.
The two ponies walked down the old stairs. Fluttershy was leading the way. A
What, are we
musty
going into
old
some
smell
kind of
waked
basement,
up
or?
at them from below.
I
They
don't
came
want
to a heavy
don't do the
wooden
pictures.
door.
They kind of
Fluttershy
spoil.
paused in front of it and turned to Pinkie.
I want to show you something, Pinkie. It is my most prized collection. I don't show it to many ponies, but I want to share with you because you're special.
The yellow Pegasus blushed again.
And it would make me so happy to know that you like it too.
Pinkie gave Fluttershy a friendly pat on the mane.
Whoever did Fluttershy, it's a good Fluttershy impression, but it's not as good as some of the
Fluttershy
others
pushed the
like
door
Carmen
open
or
for
Venomelon.
to walk
But-
inside.
But hey,
Pinkie didn't
you
notice
get what you
Fluttershy locked the door behind them as she gazed down the dark, winding tunnel before her.
Wow, Fluttershy, it's kinda dark down here.
Fluttershy walked up beside Pinkie and smiled at her.
no
Oh,
wonder
yes.
she picked the
It has
spots.
to be. You don't want to disturb the little critters. Come on.
Pinkie looked at Fluttershy as the yellow Pegasus trotted along.
Critters?
Pinkie followed, her usual eagerness a little muted by the ambience. Up ahead, Fluttershy stopped and turned to Pinkie, looking expectantly at the pink pony. Pinkie trotted up to her and stopped, her eyes drawn to the alcoves on both sides. Huge clusters of cocoons hung from the walls and ceilings of the recesses.
Seriously, I wanna
Pinkie
know why she
edged a
didn't
little
put the
away
butterflies
from
in
the
first
silky
place.
conglomerations.
I don't
Don't
know.
be afraid. Not too long now, and they'll break free of their protective shells and greet the day as beautiful butterflies.
Pinkie smiled a little uncertainly.
I like butterflies.
Fluttershy beamed happily.
I knew you'd understand. Come on, there's much more.
Fluttershy led on down the tunnel and stopped at another set of alcoves where a larger gathering of larvae were crawling all over each other. Some of them had begun to form cocoons.
Oh my, these are almost done feeding. Now they'll begin their slow metamorphosis. It's spectacular, don't you agree?
Pinkie bit her lip and tried to stay exactly in the middle of the tunnel,
Of course,
far away from the
they're
creepy
pretty
crawlies
simple.
that
They
were
go out,
possible.
they come out of the cocoon, and they come out as beautiful butterflies.
Fluttershy
Yeah.
nodded enthusiastically.
Of course, every living thing needs to feed. Come, I'll show you.
Pinkie backed away slowly.
It's alright. We could go eat cupcakes outside and, watch butterflies.
Fluttershy stopped and looked
Yeah,
back
eat
at Pinkie.
cupcakes. We know what you're up. We kind of know what you're up to, Pinkie.
I wanted this to be special.
Pinkie felt
Probably
a
one of
stab
her
of
favorite
guilt.
ways of torture.
Fluttershy
Except
had
they're
decided
still
to show
alive,
Pinkie her secret
choking.
passion because she hoped Pinkie would understand and that she would like it too. Pinkie took a deep breath and continued on, trying to put a smile on for Fluttershy. She didn't want to let down a friend, even if it was a little creepy and filled with crawlies down here. They were just insects, nothing more. Once it was all over, they could go out and laugh in the sunlight, and it would all be good fun. Pinkie tried to not look at the inhabitants she knew would be in the next alcoves. She tried to smile and pretend that it was all greatly fascinating, while keeping her eyes on the floor. But the Pegasus insisted on making Pinkie look. Pinkie glanced at the alcoves on her left, trying to shut off her mind. It could be easy. She did it so often. But she couldn't stop staring now. Her eyes had locked themselves upon something of which her screaming mind refused to acknowledge. From the crawling mass of creepy things, something stuck out.
A giant
Pinkie's
butterfly.
voice broke. A pathetic, muffled scream was all that came from her mouth at the sight of a bloody hoof. Flesh peeled off from the bone. She stumbled back, wide eyes moving back and forth between the gruesome object and the yellow Pegasus. Fluttershy gave her a broken look, her large cyan eyes pleading at her.
I thought you'd like my
Not the
collection. I thought
cyanides.
you'd understand.
They'll literally stop you in
Pinkie
your
shrank and
tracks.
cowered before the Pegasus, unable to turn away from her gaze.
I thought you were my friend, Pinkie.
The party pony felt her heart sink, her
Uh,
mind crash.
Just putting the word
She looked
cyan
down
and
at the
eyes
tree.
together sounds like cyanide instead of cyan eyes.
She heard herself say,
Cyanide.
and saw herself almost as if in a dream, standing and following the other pony. Fluttershy beamed happily.
I knew you'd understand. Oh, I have so much to show you. You'll love it, and it'll be so special.
I'm calling it. There's gonna be a giant butterfly at the end of this.
Pinky's mind reeled in horror as the two ponies continued through the tunnel. Every step, she wanted to turn around and run, to find some pony, any pony else, to find sunlight and safety. But her legs did not answer, and her eyes gazed involuntarily at the gruesome sight as they paused at another pair of alcoves. Little white grubs crawling all over the remains of a minty unicorn, burrowing in and out of the rotting flesh hanging from her bones. Nothing remained to the identity of the unicorn, but Pinky couldn't help but be reminded of a sweet nightly tunes of a lyre. When had she last heard it? It seemed like long ago now when she thought about it. Fluttershy's voice barely registered in Pinky's shrieking mind.
Why you had to do a Lyra? She was just about to start her studies on the apes and how they are connected to humans.
It was
Yeah.
sickening. Pinky's stomach churned, and she felt the bitter taste of acid as she threw up on the floor. Fluttershy continued on, undeterred, her voice more eager than ever.
Come on, Pinky. You'll love this. I know you will. This is my latest masterpiece. It's absolutely stunning.
It's a giant butterfly, isn't it?
As a special gift.
Pinky stumbled.
I'm calling it. It's gonna
her
be a
mind
giant
trying to
butterfly.
regain control of her legs. She had to flee. She had to get out, whatever it took. Slowly, she turned around and found herself running. She could barely see in the darkness, but her legs carried her like the wind, past the alcoves of horror back towards the stairs. The door came at her in the darkness, and she scrambled at it to no avail. Crying, she threw herself against the barrier. She wanted to get out.
Can't you just teleport
wasn't
out?
funny.
No
This
way, no
wasn't
way. Happiness is
beautiful.
connected to.
She heard the little
she's
clip clop
in
as the yellow
fear.
Pegasus landed behind her. She fell down and hid her face under her hooves, closing her eyes tightly.
No, I don't want to see. Let me go. I don't need to see. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. I'll say anything. Just let me go. I don't need to see.
Fluttershy struck a hoof against the stone floor.
I'm disappointed, Pinky. I show you my most treasured work, my greatest collection, and you.
Pinky felt
Of rotting
herself
corpses,
unwillingly
yeah.
turning
I'm
to
not
face
surprised
the
that you
Pegasus.
could. Probably your greatest thing
Didn't
is that
want
you're not
to.
going completely
She wanted to
insane
get out.
What?
on the
She
outside.
never wanted to see a
Like, not
butterfly
going like
dead
this.
in all of her life. Her
What?
eyes met
No giant butterfly?
and her heart sank.
Huh?
You hurt me deeply, Pinky. But I know you didn't mean to. Now come. When you see my latest work, I know you'll understand.
Is it your latest work's a
Once
giant
more,
butterfly? Please! There has to be a giant butterfly at the end of this.
Resist. Once more, past the vistas of rotting, crawling flesh. Fluttershy paused up ahead.
Please, God, just
Even
throw
patiently.
Fluttershy into the
Her deep
grubs.
cyan eyes were shining through the darkness. Pinky couldn't escape their command. She wanted to close hers. She didn't want to look. But with every step, she got closer to Fluttershy, closer to whatever horror the Pegasus considered her latest masterpiece.
A giant butterfly?
Gift? Pinky stopped in front of Fluttershy. Her mind fought against the compulsion to look up at the alcoves. Yet, inch by inch, her head turned as if pulled by an invisible force. Pinky sat down heavily with a silent shriek of agony. No, this wasn't real. It couldn't be. Fluttershy smiled at her.
I know you were very close, so I wanted her to be here for you. She was dear to me too, you know. Sometimes I was a little jealous, but now I'm just so happy for you.
Pinky couldn't take her eyes away. She felt her heart break into 1,000 little pieces.
No, not like that.
The pale blue Pegasus
Oh.
with the rainbow-striped mane stared back at Pinky with empty eyes. a look of complete and indescribable terror and agony written across her once beautiful face.
She's truly a wonder, isn't she? Not a wonderful, sadly enough, but she could never leave you anyway. It was a perfect explanation for her
Pinkie
disappearance,
Pie's next.
and easy enough for me to write those letters she sent you.
So
Pinkie
pretty much this
recalled
is
the
like
acceptance
a
letter from
Fluttershy
Rainbow,
version of cupcakes,
the
Yes.
letters from Rainbow Dash
except
that
that
followed,
except in the whole
so
except
proud and full of joy.
except
And
of keeping the
the
whole thing in
promise that they would
secrecy,
soon be together
she
again.
shows it to one of her
She
friends.
cried. It
But
was too much for her to bear.
I ain't
She
spoiling.
looked up at her beloved Rainbow. A gasp escaped her as the Pegasus' face and wings twitched in the darkness. She cried and jumped up. For a fleeting moment, all she could think about was getting her Dashie down and out of there. She'd save her.
Wait,
She'd
down? What do you mean, like
do
she's hanging by a meat hook or something?
Fluttershy's
Ah,
voice
such a
didn't
disturbing
reach her.
mind.
Oh, I think the little ones are about to come out. This is absolutely perfect.
I thought my
Pinkie
ideas were
stopped
creepy.
right in front of Rainbow Dash's body as the first larvae burst from the Pegasus' empty eyes in a flow of blood and yellow pus. The entire body was writhing with life, little worms visible under the skin. Pinkie merely screamed and screamed. And
Yeah, you think anything else?
Yeah, we get it. She screamed. That's what.
Seriously, just throw Fluttershy into the grub so we have a taste for.
Pinkie woke up to a bright light above her.
I'm still
A
waiting for
scream
that giant
immediately
butterfly.
escaped her mouth, carried over from what she desperately hoped was a nightmare. It had to be a nightmare. It just had to be.
Please, let it be a nightmare.
She knew it wasn't. It had been too real. She had to get out. She had to get away. It was the only thought on her mind. She tried to move, but realized she couldn't feel her hind legs. Fluttershy's voice sounded somewhere behind her.
I am so very sorry, but I couldn't have you running away again. Rainbow Dash was even worse. Pegasus ponies can be so difficult. I had to sever her spine above
Wait,
her
I
legs,
recognize
you know.
this background music.
That.
I've heard it
Took some
somewhere.
experience away. I would prefer
Severed
not having to sever
her
your
spine.
off.
Wow, you
But
must
you
have
are a naughty
experimented on a
pony
lot
out
of
there,
raps.
Pinkie. Don't worry though. You still have your upper body.
Pinkie struggled.
Or
She
pony.
could see her legs, but there was no feeling, no response. She cried.
More plainly.
Her voice broke, and tears streamed down her face. Fluttershy came up beside her, smiling.
You're about to experience a wonderful transformation, Pinkie. Something very few ponies get to experience in life.
She held up a scalpel.
The
carefully
transformation
checking
into a
the
giant
blade.
butterfly?
Most ponies never think about death. They're sheltered from it by a culture which abhors it and tries to hide its wonders. I saw the light myself only a year ago when I was trotting through the forest.
Practically everyone is scared of death, except for the ones that have been
She
battered
didn't
and
really
broken
listen to
beyond
Fluttershy,
belief.
but the yellow Pegasus continued anyway.
And that's a
She
fact.
considered Pinkie Pie's body.
I came across the body of a pony who had died. Of what I could not tell, but she was lying there in the forest. And I noticed how all the little crawlies out of the forest floor had invaded her corpse. I realized what death really means. A transformation, Pinkie.
So she's
Most
trying to
ponies die in a berry,
transform death
and
into
they
what
never
she
get to
thinks.
experience that transformation. And no pony else sees the transformation
I have to
either.
give it
They
props
all
for
have to
for all
be
the
afraid.
for all the
But
cupcakes
now
rip
it's been made
for all the
easier for
cupcakes rip offs out there. This is one that's actually pretty unique.
One day, everyone will see
Yeah,
it and marvel
I
too.
think,
Pinkie cried as Fluttershy stood above her.
I don't
Holding the
know
scalpel.
where people would place this and Flutter. Butterfly, is that called butterfly?
Which is
Buttershy, right?
Fluttershy's deep eyes met hers. Pinkie felt powerless, helpless, under their gaze.
Hush, Pinkie. I've chosen the pink spotted swallowtail for you. I hope you will agree that it fits you well. It's such a lovely butterfly. It was very difficult to find in these parts, but I did it for you. I really think it's perfect for you.
Pinkie Pie wanted to scream, but all
Wait,
she could
put a
do was help
close up.
herself
It kind of does. She
as
kind of
the
has
yellow
that evil
Pegasus
look.
placed the sharp blade of the scalpel against her tummy.
Now don't worry, you won't feel much. Dr. Fluttershy knows what she's doing.
The Pegasus
God.
smiled.
Dr. Fluttershy.
Her
Oh
shiny
God!
eyes looked extremely far from Pinkie's, as the blade cut cleanly through her skin and flesh.
Yep, we
Pinkie
just
breathed
we
heavily
went back into
as she
Cupcakes
watched,
territory.
unable to turn away. She couldn't feel much. The blade was extremely sharp, but terror gripped her mind and
I don't
tore
know
at
what,
her
how many
very being.
experiments have gone on down there.
Fluttershy smiled, her deep eyes holding Pinkie paralyzed in place.
What's
I'm
Pinkie
going
done to
go
you?
back
Do you have
and
some
do
kind
more
of counting system?
It's warm and cozy there, with plenty of digestive material for them to grow big and strong. Think of it as having hundreds, thousands maybe, of little children. Isn't it wonderful? And Rainbow will be there with you. Oh, isn't it perfect? I'm so happy for both of you.
The
Happy
yellow
for
Pegasus
what?
was practically glowing with twisted glee as she clapped her hooves. Fluttershy expertly opened up Pinkie's stomach, exposing the intestines. She had done it so many times now. First on small animals. She knew where and how to cut. Pinkie Pie had passed out. They usually did. Fluttershy smiled and hummed a little tune as she carefully dug her hooves into Pinkie Pie's warm, bloody innards, finding the perfect spot to place the eggs before stitching the party pony back up.
Seriously, this is one fucked up story.
This is absolutely disgusting.
Hey, it did say warning.
Pinkie Pie woke up with a shriek. Her throat felt like sand. She had been screaming and crying so long. She was hanging from strong chains, her legs dangling uselessly beneath her like a weight of lead. It was dark, but across the tunnel from her, she could make out Rainbow Dash's decaying body.
Oh.
Pegasus's face was a living colony of crawling larvae now, blood and pus flowing from her mouth and eyes,
Oh,
like streams of red and yellow. Pinkie felt her stomach turn violently as she threw up over herself. She couldn't watch. Her voice was but a whisper. She coughed and looked down the line of stitches grazing her stomach. She could feel them
why stitch
inside
back
of
up?
her, crawling, burrowing slowly into her gut. Or was it her imagination? Soon, it would all be too real. Pinkie Pie cried quietly in the dark.
I'm sorry, Dash. I'm sorry I never told you that I love you.
Pinkie Dash. Rainbow Pie.
Or unless she told you guys gonna tell her, I'm going to kill you, kind of thing.
Oh, so that was Catbug who voiced Fluttershy.
Catbug?
I recognize her. She does a really good Spike impression. And that was Butterflies, and... I need...
Put some words in your mouth. Fucked up story.
Well, okay, out of all the Cupcakes ripoffs that I've seen, like, well, I haven't...
This one was more descriptive.
Yeah.
In a way. I mean, like, you don't have to use that many... This one did not have to use so many words to be very descriptive.
Yeah, what he said. And not to mention, I hate to compare this to Experiments of Twilight Sparkle, but, well, this is kind of... I compare it to that because, well, in that story, it was pretty much the Twilight version of Cupcakes, and in this story, it's the Fluttershy version of Cupcakes.
Anyway, have you done a reaction video to that one?
Experiments of Twilight Sparkle?
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do a reaction video to that, but I just can't get to it.
You can find those on YouTube.
Yeah. Be sure to expect that sometime soon. But I'll do that after I'm done reacting to All That Glitters by Ratana Station.
All That Glitters?
It's a Muffin side story.
Is there enough time for another one?
maybe we should probably maybe we should probably stop this video here and do it in another video.
Yeah.
But overall, my thoughts on it, this was a very creative butterfly.
Whoever, if the person who's writing this, who
Ad
wrote
Coon.
this, what was her name?
Adcoon.
Adcoon. You need some therapy.
But then again, all the therapy writers I've seen need therapy. But then
Actually,
again,
no, I would suggest Dr. Wolf or something like. I don't know. He's actually pretty good on therapy. I don't even know if he's licensed or not, but he does make very good points.
so yeah, my thoughts on this is for now, because my opinions on this may change later on. This was one of the most creative Flutter Cupcakes ripoffs I've ever seen. Yes,
It's not a ripoff. It's more of its own unique side.
and I can definitely see why this made it
It is
into
kind
the.
of a ripoff. I mean, like, it's based off of, but it's not in the same scenario.
So yeah, I could definitely see how this got into the honorable mentions. I honestly expected something to happen, the butterflies to take control of Fluttershy, because
I
that's
watched that video too. Watchpony.com 10 mostest, well, you know, 10 creepiest top 10 creepypastas of My Little Pony.
But yeah, my thoughts on this is really creative and really creative and a really good job for really great way to make its own thing out of cupcakes.
You know how to put Grim in Little Grim.
And as always, this has been Mystery Citric and my friend Marcus. And as always, stay grim.